Hello everyone, I'm Brazen Eagle and thank you for joining me here. So today, we have a light propaganda piece from the British Broadcasting Corporation about how boys should be indoctrinated to become supposed good, little, effeminate males. So, bringing up boys to be good men from Woman's Hour on the BBC. How do you raise your sons to be good men who are respectful of women and believe girls should have the same, or really more rights and opportunities as they do? Consultant clinical psychologist Emma Citron, journalist Victoria Richards, and Jordan Jones, volunteer at the Good Lad Initiative, shared their tips and experiences with Woman's Hour. Is it just biological women's hour, or can it be trans woman's hour as well? Anyways, number 1, speak to your sons about gender stereotypes. Chipping away at stereotypes from a young age is important, says Emma Citron. If any stereotypes or prejudices leak out, for example, boys are stronger than girls and they climb the climbing frame and are so good at everything. Well, is that wrong? You can start to present other viewpoints or points of view. You may not be noticing that girls are doing X or Y, or actually they are very good at maths. Maths? For Jordan Jones, every moment is a learning opportunity for his 2 children, from watching a Disney movie to taking a bus together. Wow. He recently taught his daughter about mansplaining. Oh my goodness. I said to her, it's quite interesting that that man interrupted that woman when she was speaking and then said exactly what she was going to say. And that she'll say in her 8-year-old brain, yeah, actually that's quite weird that he's just explaining it again. He didn't have to explain it. So now, she has the understanding without me forcing it on her. He says he'll use the same approach to his son too as he grows older. Seems like someone didn't check their grammar. But anyways, number 2, empower them to be their own person and show their emotions, because that'll work out so well for your son. Victoria Richards worries that her toddler son will face pressure to become a man as he grows older, which seems to mean not expressing emotions and treating women a certain way. She wants him to be comfortable with being emotional and being able to express himself however he likes. Her son recently chose to wear a pink and white checkered bow hairband to nursery. It's not saying you have to wear this or you can't wear this, but saying you're totally free to wear this if you want to. Jordan agrees that he will let his son wear whatever he wants and do whatever he wants, as long as it's safe and appropriate. Well, define safe and appropriate. It seems like those 2 terms, safe and appropriate, are changing as time progresses. Anyways, number 3. Read diverse books and encourage a range of toys. Books that challenge gender norms can literally undo children's perceptions of gender stereotyping, says Victoria, who wants her son to read the same books as her daughters. What, like Harry Potter or something? Something very good for the youth? She recommends stories about girls in science or sports, or boys who don't conform to macho stereotypes, and is currently enjoying a book about a boy who dresses up as a mermaid. Mermaid? Really? Come on. She adds that she is also mindful of shows that conform to more traditional sex stereotypes, such as Peppa Pig. Victoria adds, provide boys with a range of options, offer them dolls and buggies and things that people might traditionally associate with girls. Number 4, start speaking to them about consent early on. No, we're not talking about having sex with kids, my friends. It's a different type of consent. You can empower kids to say no. Tell them they don't have to kiss your aging relative at Christmas, says Victoria. She believes we need to embed difficult conversations about consent as early as possible. From the word go, you're giving them the power to say no and bodily autonomy, unless mama says otherwise. Number 5, be good role models. Modeling is really important within the home, says Victoria. Is a mother doing the traditional female chores of cooking and cleaning and childcare? And isn't it really simple to see dad cooking the dinner one night and mum washing the car or putting out the bins altogether or another? Emma made sure she spoke to her sons about her work as they grew up so they could see that she was a successful working mother. Well, define successful working mother, please. Jordan believes his son is surrounded by a supportive, empowering social circle outside the home. I hope that with the village of people raising him, he won't be someone who succumbs to peer pressure and goes along with something just because it's cool or okay, but because it's something he really believes in. It's a daily struggle, constantly checking privilege, constantly checking that dead patriarchy, and other men calling it out to each other and holding each other holding each other to account. That's essential. Wow. And a picture, of course, is on the right that shows you Emma Citron. Oh my goodness. Jordan Jones, kind of a cuck. And Victoria Richards, kind of looking crazy. But, oh, the British Broadcasting Corporation, what are you doing? Do you want more weak men? Do you want to kill off your civilization? Do you not think that this can have severe consequences, especially for the former British Empire, now the United Kingdom? In my opinion, now I don't live in the UK, but it seems to be that the United Kingdom is a shell of its former past, and doing stuff like this will only make it weaker and weaker. Now, of course, we're going to look at the top. This is supposed to be a woman's hour, but all they talk about is how boys should behave and act, because, when do females know what boys need when growing up? Boys having exclusively female people to look up to will ruin the boys. Boys need strong, masculine fathers and role models. Without them, boys, of course, will end up more depressed, more likely to become criminals, and without fathers and strong, masculine role models, are definitely more likely to commit mass shootings. Most mass shooters, at least from what I looked at, come from fatherless households. Single mothers are cancer. Now, even the opening sentence tells you how much the BBC has fallen since its inception. Chipping away at actually not that one. How do you raise your sons to be good men who are respectful women and believe girls should have the same rights and opportunities as they do? Come on, let's be real here. First of all, why should men even be respectful of females? Are females respectful of men? Sometimes yes. A lot of the time, no. If you're in the bottom 80% of men, females generally won't respect or even acknowledge you. Secondly, why should a boy believe that girls should be given more rights and opportunities than men at the expense of men? We are so far past equality that equality looks like oppression to females. But let's go through this list of ignorance. Shall we? Number 1, speak to your sons about gender, or really sex, stereotypes. The first sentence here is very alarming. If any stereotypes or prejudices leak out, for example, boys are stronger than girls, and they climb the climbing frame and are so good at everything, you can start to present other viewpoints. Are you kidding me? Perhaps early on, boys and girls have maybe somewhat similar strength levels, but by the beginning of puberty for boys will excel past girls in many areas like crazy. Now, I do want to bring this up. Stereotypes exist for a reason. There's nothing wrong in assuming that someone will behave in a certain manner, because experience has proven that the likelihood of a behavior or action occurring is so high that it is unnatural when this stereotype is not realized. Besides, gender stereotypes is a bit of a misleading phrase. Really, it's, of course, sex stereotypes that you should look out for. Gender, of course, is basically defined by feelings, so that word is useless. The term sex and sex stereotypes is much more reliable and tells you way more information than a worthless term like gender. And you know what? Boys should generally conform with their masculine stereotypes. Boys, no matter what social scientists or females want, will generally behave a certain way. They are comfortable in their behavior, yes. Some behavior, regardless of sex, must be forbidden and punished, but conforming to sex stereotypes will help the children grow up. To stray them away from their natural behavior is by forcing boys to become a girl or become more and more effeminate, then boys grow more and more confused. They are at war with their biology. For boys, it will never feel right if they are forced to act like a girl, especially during any part of puberty. Now, number 2, empower them to be their own person and show their emotions. Now, Victoria Richards here is right in worrying that her son will be pressured to become a man when he is older. She's right. This is a biological trait that men assume about other men. Now, some people would say that men shouldn't express their emotions. I believe that this is wrong. Men need to express their emotions to men, to other men that they trust and can open up to. Men should, of course, never express themselves to females if those emotions expressed make the man look weak or even sound weak. Women do not want a weak man, no matter where you go in the world. No woman wants a weak man. Not even men don't even want weak men. Women depend on men for emotional support, not the other way around. And secondly, Victoria Richards' son will treat women a certain way. From what I gather, from, of course, this short reading, her son will grow up to be quite effeminate and treat females with so much respect and so much politeness that those females, the women, will never be attracted to her son. It's an unfortunate truth. How many nice guys are just saying, oh, woe is me, I'm forever alone because I'm so nice to females? Victoria Richards is hurting her son's future with her ignorance and misinformation. Number 3, read diversive books and encourage a range of toys. Now, reading stories that challenge stereotypes is not necessarily a bad thing. For example, I know that there are some Asians, especially East Asians, who are terrible at mathematics. Not every Asian is good at math. And then there are some, you could say in the United States, some African Americans out there that would never commit crimes or do anything bad. I know some people like that. But just because there are, of course, a few exceptions to the rules, that doesn't mean those exceptions prove the rules or stereotypes wrong. But regarding sex stereotypes, it would be so much more beneficial for boys to do what is natural for them and play with traditionally masculine toys and ideas. Let them play in the mud. Let them play a little bit with roughhousing, Let them play in the playground, monkey bars. Let them run around and play tag. Let them express themselves the way they want to express themselves through a masculine channel. Now, number 4, start speaking to them about consent early on. Now, giving consent also isn't necessarily a bad thing either. Now, when I say consent, for most of us, I think, like I said earlier, we think of sexual consent, but of course, Victoria here states that this is about everything regarding the mind and body. It's good to have your son or daughter be aware that some individuals might try to hurt them without permission, but Victoria here, she's already, of course, trying to sabotage her son. Let's say her son grows up with the idea that enthusiastic verbal consent is always required and mandatory. And if you've had any experience with females, that means when he wants to go kiss a girl when he's older, he will have to ask the girl if he can kiss her. Do you see that? Like I said, if you have any experience with girls, you know that girls hate that. They don't want to take charge. Girls want to be led and not to be asked to do something. Why do you think there's a joke running that if you ask your girlfriend where she wants to eat, that she will never come up with an answer? Girls want to be led. They don't want to be asked. They just want to be led. Number 5. Be good role models. Now, having good role models is very important for everyone. We should all look up to people that we can aspire to be and who contain potential ideas or even ideals. Now, Victoria here wants her son to look up to, of course, his mother, who is supposed to be a successful mom, or is it Emma here, to look up to Emma Citron here, who is a supposed successful mother who challenges privileges and supposed patriarchy. Oh my goodness. And this is where number 5 falls apart. Now, this of course is a mixture between Emma, Jordan, and Victoria for number 5, but how are they going to check supposed privilege of others? What are you going to do? Are you going to call out and make a big scene like saying, oh, you have privilege? And what, are you going to cry about it? Are you going to cry about it like a baby? Is it not a privileged position to actually attack others for their well-being? Look, people work hard for their stuff. Why are you criticizing them for just using what they've worked for? How is the supposed patriarchy keeping women down despite them having equal rights for at least the past 50 years, if not more? These 3, the feminist, the cuck, and the other feminist, They just want men and women to tear down any successful man in order to achieve that dreaded E word. That radical equality, even though, of course, equality was passed a long time ago. All three of these people want everyone to be equally miserable and uneducated and ignorant of basic human biology. Regardless, I do fear for all three of these people's children, especially their sons. Now, especially for Victoria's sons, because he's being brought up in an effeminate. He's being brought up to become an effeminate, weak male that could end up becoming dangerous for society. And of course, it's not just Victoria, but it could be Jordan's son or even Emma's son. And this is why you should never have women leaders. Yes, there are probably some exceptions to the rule, but in general, you don't have women in leadership positions, especially in society. By giving them positions of power, women will only tear everyone else down and make sure that their sons, the gatekeepers of a successful, protected society, they're just going to ruin it. I really hope all their sons turn out okay, and then each and every single one of them understands and goes their own way before it is far too late. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. I'm Brazen Eagle, and I hope you learned something from this and have a great day.